Hey, what's up, this is Tortimer the Great. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Pokemon Showdown Subday challenges. Today we are doing the Rotten Egg Challenge, where you guys were tasked with picking, building a team of your least favorite Pokemon and attempting to win a battle with them. Unfortunately, I did not succeed at that challenge this week. I had to settle for a forfeit this week. I managed to kill 3 of this guy's Pokemon before he went out, but my team consists of Garborder, Sucking, Illumise, Amoonguss, Barbonicle, and Vanillux. Some of my least favorite Pokemon, I did have Gothiel, or Gothia, I don't even know what the things are called, on the team, but that put the team in OU, and I really could not get any wins going there at all with this team. Most of these Pokemon are not very good. The only one that really has been passable has been Garborder. Occasionally Illumise came in handy, and Amoonguss should be good, but I didn't really get a whole lot of use out of it with the set I was using. But Garborder was able to come in and had enough bulk to set up all of these hazards. So we've got Toxic Poison and a couple of Spikes here, which have done pretty nicely for us. Mega Gaily comes in, and I switch into Vanillux, and it's going to go ahead and throw up the Atomize, I think is what I was or the Flash Cannon. I have Hidden Power Ground on it though, but I didn't think to go for it at that point. So Houndoom comes in, throws up the Attract, which is not going to work on Garboring, and Fire Spin's not going to do a ton, but then we're going to Drain Punch and kill Houndoom, taking down the first of their Pokemon there. At that point, Scyther comes in. Scyther's not affected by any of the spikes. He throws up the Focus Energy, but we're going to hit him with a good Gunk Shot, which ends up critting, although I don't know if that was necessary, and he's going to go down. Cobaloin's going to come in then at that point, and Garborder's going to kill it with the Drain Punch as well, at which point they're going to bring in... actually, they're going to forfeit at that point. So just a 17-turn battle there. Unfortunately, I hate doing this, but I just don't... I have literally zero time. I got a bunch of people coming into town this weekend, and so much other things I had to be doing. Mother's Day's this weekend. Make sure to say hi to your moms. Today's Mother's Day. Yeah, so... I hope you guys won't mind. These are some of the 6 least favorite Pokemon. Well, it's 6 of my least favorite Pokemon. I wanted to spread the love around. I had most of my least favorite Pokemon come from Gen 5, but I wanted to get a couple others in there. So Seaking, I've always just... I don't like the Seaking line. It's a koi fish. It's so boring. Illumise, those 2, and Volbeat are both so ugly. Actually, I think this is Volbeat, not Illumise. And then Amoonguss, Garborder, Vanillux, Gothiel. Barbonicle is the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Not even just Pokemon. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Let's check out what you guys managed to do this week with your challenges. Alrighty. Alright guys, here we go. This is Scad's challenge for this week, and Scad went in with the Little Cup tier because his least favorite Pokemon are all of the stupid baby Pokemon that Pokemon added to flesh out the Pokedex in Gen 2, or no, Gen 4. Some of these are Gen 2, some of them are Gen 4. So Mime Jr. And I think Smoochum are both from Gen 4. And then Magby and Elekid, Cleffa, and Pichu are all from Gen 2. Magby and Elekid I kind of like, but the rest of these, yeah, are terrible. Igglybuff, all of those stupid baby Pokemon that really have no competitive purpose. They're not even really viable in Little Cup. You know, because Jigglypuff and Clefairy were like the original first stages, and then they made a Pokemon even worse than that. It's like, I get if you're adding an evolution, but to add a first stage one that is even worse than a previous first stage, that's no. But Magby comes in, kills the Damask. Timber's going to come and take a hard Flamethrower before throwing up the Power Punch. He's going to get a boost to his attack and get some Toxic Poison, but Ember's faster, and so he's going to kill the Timber there. Then Porygon's going to come in, gets the attack boost, takes a Flamethrower and gets burned, so that works out very nicely. Tri-Attack, obviously, though, is special, so it's not going to be affected by the burn, and it's going to kill Ember. At that point, Cleffa's going to come in. Porygon goes for the conversion, and the... Psychic is going to be not very effective there, but the Flamethrower is going to come in at that point and go ahead and take it out. Pineco then is also going to get hit by a Flamethrower. We're going to start throwing up the spikes, but it's not going to last long enough to do much else to the Cleffa. And then Armara is the last one they've got left, and I'm assuming Cleft is going to throw up another Flamethrower here. Yep, and do well, not well with the special defense boost. I guess that does more than I would have less than I would have expected, or about as much. I don't know. Clef is going to die there, and then he's going to bring in Sparky, his Pichu, and Sparky is going to take a hard Hyper Voice from the boosted Armora, and then Smoochum's going to have to come in, and Blondie's going to get poisoned by the Toxic Spike. Going to throw up the Fake Out there, stalling out for the toxic damage to start really taking effect. And then it's going to take a hard Hyper Voice, but it is going to survive, and then Armaro's going to go down to Life Orb damage. So good job there, Sked. I agree with you. A lot of Pokemon they just add to flesh out the Pokedex, even if they're not baby Pokemon. People are always like, it's like if it's in no way competitively viable, even in like story mode, why does it exist? This is a battling game. And people are like, oh, it's to flesh out the universe. We have 720 Pokemon. We don't need to just flesh out the universe. Whew. Alright, let's see what the rest of you guys brought to us today, shall we? Alright guys, here we go with Red Wolf's submission. Red Wolf decided to go in the Little Cup tier as well, and he leads off with his Vanillite, and Vanillite go ahead and erects the Gibble there. So yeah, a couple of similar ones to me here. I definitely don't like the Clink Clank line. One, because they're just a straight clone of the Magnemite line, and they're almost less inventive than the Magnemite line. Because at least Magnemite is like a creative looking thing, even if it's, even if its evolutions are just 3 of them tacked together, but Clink Clank is just like a literal just gears. There's nothing going on there. Mime Jr. seems to be getting a lot of hate today, which is fine. I don't have any love for Mime Jr., so that's fine. A little more useful now that he's psychic or fairy type, I guess, but we'll let him kill the Tyrant here and move on to the Bagon. Bagon's going to take a hard two times boosted Psychic there as well. Axie's going to come in. He's going to be asleep. I'm not sure what that was exactly. I might have missed something earlier in the battle when we were talking. Axie comes in. The Earthquake obviously does nothing because he's on his balloon, so I needed power. Obviously, he's going to pop the balloon there and then take a Dragon Claw and go down, at which point they're going to bring in Lotad. I kind of like the Lotad line, so I can't really agree with Red Wolf there, but I mean, to each his own. Definitely are Pokemon that I'm not real fond of, that other people tend to like, so not gonna worry about that at all. Gets taunted there, so it can't do what it wanted to do. Earth Power is going to do real hard damage before the Berry Juice heals back up. They get the struggle, going for struggle there. Interesting strategy there. Well, I guess if it's taunt, you don't have a choice at that point. That's what's going on. So he gets killed by recoil there, and then they're down to their Inkay, which again, I can't agree with this. I agree that Malamar is a little weird, but Inkay is awesome. So Inkay is going to land a hard hit on the Axie, get those stat boosts, and then Deanna's going to come in and also take a hard hit and go down. So thank you so much, Red Wolf, for your submission. Always cool to see which Pokemon people don't really like. It seems like there's usually a pretty common thread for most of these, but you see some unique ones on occasion. So thank you so much for your submission. Alrighty, let's check out the next one, shall we? Alright guys, here we go with Erin's battle for this week, and Erin decided to go into the NU tier, and she's got a lot of Pokemon on her team. You know, she's got a couple of the Reggies, the Clink Clank, so obviously she's not a real big fan of them, just like Red Wolf. And then she's got a couple of the Gen 4 evolutions, Electivire, which is actually one of the only Gen 1 evolutions that I really liked from Gen 4. The rest of them, Magmortar, Tangrowth, Licky, which we're going to see here in a little bit, all god-awful. But Electivire is the only one that I can look at and be like, okay, that is, at least looks kind of cool. The rest of those, like, what happened there? And some of the Gen 4 evolution ones I actually kind of liked, like Mamoswine and Ambipom and Gliscor, and some of those ended up being good, but most of the Gen 1 evolutions were pretty terrible. So Rock Thing's going to switch out. Here comes Licky. Licky's going to take that Scald like it's nobody's business. The Bibarel being awesome, as Bibarels ought to do. Sets up the substitute. The Dragon Tail is going to not do enough to break the sub, so Bibarel's going to stay right where he's at. Throws up the Toxic, but it misses. The Body Slam finally gets through the sub and fades it out. At which point the Bibarel is going to protect to stall out even longer. And get Doughboy back up to full health before getting Toxic here, and finally landing that Dragon Tail they were looking for, bringing out Gorgai's Super, which I doubt Doughboy can really do much against, and they go for the Dragon Tail again. I guess she's going to just try and cycle through all their Pokemon to get some rocks damage off while she can, I guess. Just trusting on Doughboy's bulk to stay in for a while. But with the Leech Seed and the Toxic, not going to last for very long, so they bring in Gears. And Gears going to throw up the Shift Gear, which is really its one redeeming quality, boosting its speed by 2. And then its attack, getting another Shift Gear off here as well, and tanking some moves, getting the Wild Charge off. Doesn't even do half to the Licky Licky, so that's going to be difficult, especially even with all those boosts. Going to be kind of hard for Gears to really get much going here with Licky Licky protecting and all that other stuff. So she's going to go ahead and just get her stuff all the way up while Licky Licky screws around and throws moves her way. At this point she lands the Return, which is just about going to kill Licky Licky, but it's not going to be enough to knock him out, and Licky Licky takes her down to 1 HP before it finally goes down. Then Torkoal comes in. Torkoal is going to take a hard return and go down, but Gears is going to die to Torkoal's Rocky Helmet. Then Regirock is going to come back in, take a hard critical Scald, which burns it. So tough move there for the Regirock. But it doesn't do a ton of damage considering it's super effective. So Bibarel, come on, buddy. But neither is Rock a thing with the burn now going to be doing much damage against the Bibarel. So we can't really say much against Bibarel's attack damage there. So finally Bibarel goes down, leaving them with just Gourguy's Super. Aaron, despite hating all these Pokemon, has managed to take out a team with only losing 1. Rock Thing's going to get seated here while she goes for the Paralyze, and then Gourgeist is going to be taking some health back while Rock Thing takes a burn. She lands the Stone Edge, but again, not going to do a whole lot because of the burn, and Gourgeist is going to heal back enough to pretty much negate it. She's going to take a little bit of more damage here, but then Rock Thing's going to be killed by the Leech Seed the next turn. At which point, Aaron's going to bring in not Electabuzz, and he's going to land a Fire Punch, which is not going to do much given the burn that Electivire has on him, and then the Leech Seed and the burn are going to, again, take down Electivire. Then Claydol comes in, and Claydol's going to land the Psychic. Gourgeist Super is going to throw up the Leech Seed, and Aaron's going to have to switch back out, bringing in the over-designed Regigigas, which I never understood why Regigigas exists exactly, but he lands the Confuse Ray, but can't avoid the Leech Seed there. A slow start keeping his attack power from being really useful. So Claydol is going to come in and use Psychic again, which doesn't do a ton, but it's doing more than anything else that Aaron's got at her disposal right now. She finally gets a crit, which is going to take down the Gourgeist Super. So thank you, Aaron, for your submission. I truly appreciate you playing around with some of your least favorite Pokemon and getting us a submission. As always, for everybody who has a channel, the links to their channels will be down in the description below. Let's check out what our last submission has for us today. Alrighty. Alright guys, here we go with Thunder Rainbow's team. Thunder decided to go for the Little Cup tier as well, leading off with Mindfu, which I have to admit is one of my least favorite Pokemon as well. I didn't really like Mindfu to begin with, even when I was playing story mode, just not a Pokemon I was interested in using. But then I agree with Thunder's appraisal that going up against a ton of Mindfus in Little Cup is kind of it makes Little Cup less fun, and it makes me hate Mindfu even more. That and Meditite are two Pokemon I never liked. And constantly going up against them and getting wrecked by them in Little Cup is not made their opinions go up for me at all. So, Mindfu, despite being a horrible Pokemon in terms of its spirit, is wrecking house here in the Little Cup tier. Zoidberg taking a hard hit from Michaela. The Aqua Jet does some good damage, but the constant drain punching is going to be enough to decimate a lot of this team. And then Thunder also has to go for a forfeit win because he simply ran out of time. So sweep, I guess, with Mindfu, but he obviously hates Oshawott. Chingling and Chimecho are two of my least favorite Pokemon as well. Hoppip, I actually weirdly like the Hoppip line, but I won't argue with people who don't. And then those three Elemental Monkeys are like the worst thing that has ever existed. And actually like the Whismur line, Loudred and stuff, but Whismur is pretty dumb looking, and it doesn't look anything like its other evolution, so yeah. Anyway, Thunder suggested that this week we do the Pet Challenge, which is what we're going to be doing. So the team that you build needs to be built around either your family pets or pets of like your favorite of members of your favorite TV show, like you know. So if you watch Smallville, well, Clark had a dog, or you know, whatever it is. You know, build your team around either your pets or famous pets, or you know, go to comic books or whatever source you want to use. Build your team around a collection of pets. I'm definitely going to be doing it with all of my family pets, and I look forward to seeing you guys display your favorite pets in a competitive nature. So whatever tiers you want to use, etc., etc. And I look forward to seeing that from you guys next week. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to get your submissions in by Friday of next week. The sooner the better. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Make sure to do those likes, comments, and subscriptions for me, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good one.